What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Nerd Level Rising. My name's Jake, and thankfully, this past week was better than the last couple of weeks before that. Life was just crazy at my PhD program, all the data collection madness that we had going on. I really slowed down on all my fun things, and this week was a little bit more calm, so we got to do a bit more. So let's talk about it. We got through a little bit more of Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson, the third book in the Skyward series. This has continued to, I will call it interesting. It's continued to be interesting. And, you know, we're like I said before, you know, this is sort of the second book in a row now where Spence is kind of off on her own in a different place, different region. And, you know, I like seeing the difference, right? You can kind of see, I mean, Sanderson loves his world building, right? So like we can kind of see what he's doing with this. It's an excuse for him to be able to do that and have multiple different, you know, world building, you know, locations, whatever, within the same series. So it's cool. That's interesting. Some of it's just kind of goofy, which is, you know, fine. It's a YA series at the end of the day. So like this is, again, you know, this series is fun. It's not my favorite thing ever, but it's fun. Chipping away at it slowly as I lay down and get ready for sleep, just a chapter or so as we do that. So I'm chipping away at that slightly here and there, but the main thing was this week I finished Return to Edan by Dr. Philip Chase. This, dude, was just fantastic. So this is, I have the physical, but I actually have been reading the ebook. That's where I read this. Actually, I think I only did the ebook for this one because it became my read while I was doing some cardio. And wow, man, so I've talked about this trilogy a ton on my channel, right? You know, it's been a bunch of these weekly updates, all sorts of things. We're going to have more on it coming up. But this is such a fantastic conclusion to the trilogy. Like the first two books really, you know, they complete a lot of what you would think of the in the traditional sense of what the story would be, right? It sort of wraps up a lot of things. And I was like, man, what's going to happen in this third book? And it's like, it's the biggest one, you know? And I was like, what is he going to do with this? And he did some things that surprised me that really landed for me. They were, you know, we introduce a brand new main character that was fantastic. We brought back some stuff from the first book that I really loved what he did with that. You can see again, you know, I saw some more kind of Tolkien influences, but very much doing his own thing with it. And, you know, just seeing more layers and more different things that the magic is doing, continuing to follow the journey of these characters that we've come to know and love in the first two books, seeing where they go, seeing where they end up. Their journeys were all really satisfying. And I heard P.L. Stewart said this. He did an interview with Philip on his channel. And he mentioned how he felt the trilogy was, it's like a bookend style to it, right? Like the beginning and the end kind of mirror each other in a way. And I think that's a great way to put it, right? There's a lot of really cool like callbacks and throwbacks, but I don't know, man. It's such a satisfying ending. It really, really was. I did cry, right? So Philip has now joined the short list of authors that have made me cry. And this was just such a great read, man. It really, really, it's the darkest book in the trilogy by quite a bit, I would say. And so I love that as well. But it's certainly not grimdark either, right? There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of like spirituality. There's a lot of really good things in here. So I'm going to kind of leave that there for now because like I mentioned, I'll talk about that more here on the channel soon. But fantastic book, fantastic end of this trilogy. Could not recommend it highly enough. Okay, so that was kind of my cardio stuff. I then, physical reads, finished up Eleuthean by Sam Middleton. I'm not going to say a ton about this because this was a buddy read with the Red Company. Alex Schmiskendaria, Chance Dillon, Chris the Bearded Book Beast, and myself all read this together. We're going to do a group discussion where we get into non-spoilers for a little bit and spoilers on the book. So most of my thoughts will be there. But I think this was overall, I'm glad that I read it. It's not my favorite thing ever, I'll be honest. It had some really, really interesting, really unique, really, really cool ideas and things that are happening. And the first half of this book especially, I was like, this is awesome, man. You know, like I haven't seen this combination of things really before. This is really, really cool. I'm really digging this. And then in the second half of the book, I just kind of, I don't know, it kind of fell apart for me, to be honest. But so it's certainly not bad, but it is, it got a little bit tricky for me there by the end. So, it's a blend science fiction, fantasy story. You have a lot of your, sort of traditional stereotypical races, dwarves, elves, gnomes, stuff like that. They're not really done in the style that I prefer personally, but that's a total personal preference thing. That's not a knock against the story or the quality of it by any means. That's just purely a preference thing for me. But I think the magic is really interesting. I think that there's a lot going on with the nations and the politics and some of the monsters and some of the stuff that's going on with that. That was really interesting. But I think I don't know. It lacked a bit of that depth and cohesiveness and punch that I was really hoping for. So. Anyway, I think it's still an interesting read. We'll talk about this more when we get to that group discussion. We haven't scheduled that yet, but it'll happen sometime here in February. What else did we do? So I was going to, if you watched my last TBR video, my last update, my plan was to jump into the book that wouldn't burn. And while I am still very excited for that, it did get kicked down the road just a hair because I was fortunate enough to receive an arc of discovery by JAJ Minton. This is, of course, the Talking Story family. Not just John, not just Jacob, but also Mama Minton as well. I don't think Mr. Pooh helped, but I like to think that he did. But so I did jump into that because as soon as I got that, I was like, dude, this is cutting straight to the front of the line. Like I'm just I'm very excited to read it and see what they have put forth, what sort of art they put forward. But I'm also just, I want to support the homies, So, jumped into that. I'm like 100 and something pages in already. I'm kind of flying through it, to be honest. It's really cool. It's very different from other stuff that I've read. I've read. You can see the books on my bookshelf, right? I've primarily read epic fantasy and some sci-fi, but it's usually like Sun Eater, Red Rising, that kind of sci-fi. And I haven't read much that is in the style of this book, but I'm really, really liking it. It's awesome. I think it's sort of helping to expand my scope as a reader a little bit, maybe. Obviously we'll see how it continues and how it ends and how I like it as a whole in retrospect. But so far, very, very good. I'm not that deep into it, right? But I think that the atmosphere so far is what really is standing out to me. That it's got this very palpable feeling of strangeness and dread and like this weird otherworldly, it's like this ethereal, mysterious, like I don't know what's going on, but it's not good, right? Like that's the feeling, So really excited to continue that. And that kind of leads me right into the reading plans for this week, right? I'm going to continue that. I'm going to finish that this week, no problem, right? Because I'm getting through it quite quickly and having a great time with that. So I'm going to keep going through that. After I finish up Discovery, I think I'm going to grab probably The God Is Not Willing by Steven Erikson. This is the first book in the Witness, originally was the Witness trilogy. I think now it's called the what did he call it? The Witness Tales or something like that. I don't know. 4-book series now, right? I don't know the official name of the series anymore, but very excited for this. This is set like 10 years or so after the end of The Crippled God. So sequel series from Malazan. Count me in. I've been wanting to read this since I finished Malazan. I don't know what's taken me so long to get here, but I'm excited to get into this because, as I mentioned last week, I am going to the ICFA conference in mid to late March, and Steven Erikson goes to those conferences quite often, so there is a potential chance for me to maybe meet the man himself, and I want to make sure that I have this read before we get there. So that's probably what I will grab next. It's not a huge read. It's, half the length of a lot of the Book of the Fallen books. So we'll see how long that takes me. I don't know, but certainly will take me through. I won't finish it next week by any means, but other than that, we'll keep chipping away at Cytonic, like I mentioned, before bed. And then I think my next cardio read, will be the Caden Love book, Elegy of a Fragmented Vineyard, because I want to make sure that I to get through that and get some thoughts out there, because I know book 2 is coming out very, very soon. I can't remember the exact date. It might be tomorrow as this video comes out, that Tuesday. Forgive me if I have that wrong, but it's certainly really close to the very early February. So I want to get some thoughts together for the release of his second book, that I believe is quite a bit longer than book one. So it seems like maybe the scope is expanding quite a bit. So I've heard some very good things about that book, about that series, about Caden in general, and I'm excited to check that out. So I think that'll be up next there as well. And I think that's it for reading plans. That'll take me through. Other than that, I did get some great book mail. Okay, you can see a nice little stack. You can probably imagine what this is if you know me and if you're aware of, the shipping dates of certain things. So let me start with this. Okay, my broken binding edition of The Way of Edan came in. Guys, I don't know if this is showing up on the camera very well. It's got this sort of plastic protective thing over the dust jacket, but I cannot describe to you how beautiful this book is. Okay, this very well may be the most beautiful book that I own now. I think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's true. That, not like, look at this art. Like, I hope this is showing up on the camera. The dust jacket, if not, Philip's got videos on his channel. He did an unboxing video. He's going to have more stuff showing this off in more detail. But the dust jacket artwork is just gorgeous. And I think it really evokes the feeling of book one so well. Oh man, it's so, like, it feels like home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so nice. It's so nice. And I love the gold that they did for the typography. I love this on the side. The gilded edges, like, these are legit. These are not yellow, right? These are legit gilded edges. They are gold. They sparkle a little bit. They have that luster to them. It looks so nice, man. It looks so nice. The colored map, just really, really cool on the end pages here. That I believe is the exact same map from the normal paperbacks, but in color, of course. Now we have this lovely. Oh man, I love this material of the naked hardcover. We got a quote on the back. The old tales take us to faraway times and places, but they're also where we come from. They tell us how we got there. Love that. It's a great quote. Great theme that's in here as well, especially in this first book. Look at this raven on the front. Ah, man. And if you've read the book, you know what this is, right? Very cool there. There's a bunch of artwork in here. A bunch. There's some color illustrations, some black and white illustrations. There is one color illustration in particular that just, oh man, like, this gives me chills to look at, right? I hope that's showing up okay on the camera. I don't know. If not, go watch Philip's video, because his stuff is going to cover this in much better detail than I will right here. But anyway, just an amazing edition of an amazing book. I'm so happy to have this on my shelf. And as far as I know, there's still a couple copies left available for sale on the Broken Bindings website. Go make this sell out, okay? Go make this sell out. You will not regret it. It's not cheap, but it is much more affordable than a lot of other special editions of this quality that are out there. So go get you a copy if there's still some left. Let's make them sell out so we can make sure that we get the full trilogy. I want to make sure that I have the full set on my shelf. And then I also got, I'll just turn this around here, the Malazan Book of the Fallen from the Broken Binding again. This is, funny enough, I've showed off a bunch of Broken Binding books here on the channel so far. This is the whole reason that I am doing the Broken Binding, right? When they announced they were doing this, I was like, okay, I got to get on their subscription service. I got to make sure I can get access to these. And they finally showed up, right? So I'm very, very happy with that. We got a really cool map showing, of the known world, so it shows all the different continents and everything that we've gotten. It's pretty small, pretty detailed, so it's not going to show up well on camera, I'm sure. But that's really cool. These are just, oh man, I can't get over how beautiful these are. Man, like, I don't even know what to say. I mean, they're just, Dead House Gates. They're just, the artwork on these is so next level. I mean, this is some of my favorite fantasy artwork I've ever seen, straight up. And, the end paper artwork as well. I don't want to show the end paper artwork on here because it's pretty spoilery. But if you're familiar with the series, then you'll see some of these things and just be like, whoa, like that. It's so epic. I can't even put it into words. The edges are going to give us, I apologize for the noises on the table as I set this down, but I can't wait to see what the other 7 books next to this does with the sprayed edges. And it's already showing so much, we got the Skykeep, we got the Army, we got the Change Them All, we got there's so much stuff going on with this, dude. So Malazan means so much to me, and I am so excited to finally have these. I'm so excited. And the naked hardcovers are amazing, right? The artwork on those, it's incredible. So go look up all the artwork on these. Go look up all the artwork that's in the Edam book. It's just... thank you, Broken Binding, for doing what you do. Okay, that's about it for me, I think. A couple live stream stuff. I did do a spoiler talk with Alex on the Water 7 saga of One Piece. That was really fun. We got to dig into all of our detailed spoilery thoughts. And man, One Piece is just... I get it now. It's awesome. So that was great. A couple things upcoming to announce. One, a little bit further out, I did finally get my stream with Tom Orange rescheduled. Again, thank you, Tom, for being so flexible and understanding with my schedule and what I had going on before. So we're going to do that on the 11th. I think it's a Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we got an evening stream for that. Finally get to hang out with Tom. It's been long overdue, I think. Long overdue. And then, as I mentioned, getting into some more Edan content coming up on this coming Friday, the 7th, 5 p.m. Eastern time, so slightly earlier, but still in that evening. So hopefully we'll have some people off work and can come hang out with us. I will be joined by the one, the only Dr. Philip Chase to discuss the trilogy. We're going to go full spoilers for the whole trilogy. So if you haven't read it, we'll try to do some spoiler-free stuff at the beginning. So maybe you can kind of stop in, say hi, and see some general thoughts. But then we'll kick into spoilers for sure. So you might not want to, stick around too long if you haven't read the trilogy. But I'm so excited for that. It's just been such a great journey reading that series, and I can't wait to talk to Philip about it. I've already kind of messaged him privately a few times about some scenes and some things that happened, and so even just those interactions have been really cool. But I'm excited to really dig in there and discuss it in more depth and a little bit longer form conversation too. That'll be fun. So stay tuned for that Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time for that one. And that will be a great time. So that's about all I got on the book front. I had a little bit more free time open up this week. Not a ton, not as much as I would like, but a little bit. So I was able to tinker with the short story I've been working on here and there. I think I'm about 2,000 words now. So we're getting there. And I think it's probably, I don't know, if it feels like it's a third of the way done or something, but I have no idea. I don't know how to judge the length. I don't know how people do this when they're like, yeah, I think this book will be this length, or I'm this many words in and I'm this percentage of the way done. I'm like, how do you judge that, dude? I don't, so maybe I'll figure that out as I do more and more of it, but it feels like it's, we're getting in there and it's been so fun, man. I've been having a really, really great time working on that. So hopefully I can get through some more of that here this week, but that's about it for me. I think, life is busy as always, but that's how it goes. And trying to make good time for reading, for writing, for doing this whole cool book thing that we all love. So that's what I got. Tell me about your week in the comments. Talk to me down there. Hit that thumbs up button, that like button on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I love seeing this community grow. I love talking to you guys. I love interacting with everyone in the comments. That is my favorite part of all this thing. And now that life has calmed down a bit, I won't have to take, a full day to respond to comments like I was the last couple of weeks. Now I can get back to you guys much faster, which is nice and keeps conversations going a little bit better. So talk to me down there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.